welcome back to Hospitality Queens with your favorite two hospitality gurus. It's Erin,
What up? It's Whitney.
and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Happy week. It's kind of crazy because there's literally, I feel like it's about to be July 4th. Period.
It is like real quick. Like I'm like, where did June go? Um, I don't know about y'all, but I don't. What they say like when you become an adult, life speed up. I mean, I felt like that, but now I feel like it's like on three times speed. It was like one time what Snappy used to give you like the two times or like the three times the speed. It's
Oh,
we
yeah.
on three. We on three speed. It's giving
Mhm.
like I blink my eye and it's at the end of the month. So yeah.
Big facts. So I feel like since it's going so fast, enjoy every moment. Have fun with whatever you're doing. If it's not serving you, gotta go. See ya. you
A
know,
thousand percent.
see ya.
A
What you
thousand
gotta do ya?
percent.
Because we don't got time. Clearly.
Yeah, life waits on no one. Like literally no one. And so speaking on that, I was just looking up. I like this little. It's off of Instagram. These little daily quote affirmation type things.
Mm-hmm.
It just says, "My thoughts and beliefs create my reality, and I choose to focus on abundance and positivity, knowing that the universe will mirror back to me what I put out into the world. I'm open to receiving repetitive, all to my blessings and flow into my life." Like, you create your story. What are
Yeah.
you creating? What are you creating for your story this week? Like, what is
Mm-hmm.
it? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. And if you feel like stuff isn't like going right or like there's always something, and some things are just out of your control because it's just life, but like sometimes it's like you have to like assess like your situation. What am I doing to constantly end up here? Or like, so
Yeah.
you got to check yourself, assess what's going on. Or is it because I'm hanging out with these people or going to this place or getting these
Yep.
type of jobs, dating these type of people or whatever, or family
Mm-hmm.
members? It could be anything. So sometimes you got to
Yep.
remove yourself, change your environment. Was that your affirmation? Pretty much.
Yeah, it kind of flow. It literally just was looking at it when you just said that create, and I'm like, dang, I just read that.
hmm
So that would
I
definitely
don't.
be my affirmation.
I don't really have a affirmation, but I saw this today. This on Instagram. Her name is the Hood Healer, and she had some stuff like just to things to be mindful of going into the summer. And I feel like these are just things for life. And has posted this before. But she said, learn to navigate your neighborhood, community, town, or city without GPS. And I feel like she posted that before, that like our GPS options aren't going to be what they used to be. Um, and then you should have at least three places you and your family can go in case of an emergency. Just like things to just have in mind. Have an actual emergency contact, um, and how we protect yourself and your family in a situation where you don't have any power. Like things like that. Natural, like cities and places lose power all the, like, not all the time, but it happens. It's not something that can't happen. Um, And when was the last time you actually went to the doctor? There's a possibility that you may not see them for a while. So like just keeping on top of that, like you don't have to go to the doctor when you're sick, like, or when something's wrong. Just go for a checkup, your yearly 6 months. Like I was watching this thing and people have health insurance and they don't ever go to the doctor. You're paying for, like, like they're not going to say you can't go. Like just tap in and use your resources. I feel like we get so like complacent or like, oh, we know we have insurance and then we don't even use it. Like we're paying for it and we don't even use it. But then when you don't have it, you're like, oh, I need to have insurance. But I know when I have insurance, like when I had my braces and stuff like that, like that was a constant thing. But I never went to the doctor, to be honest. Like never did. So and are you stocking up on drinking water, non-perishable, survival technology, generators, radios? Have a portable radio. It sounds so crazy, but I feel like if life and COVID and all that has taught us anything, is like you got to be prepared, and like you never know what could happen. We may not be able to go to Walmart, or it could be crazy going to Walmart. So, um, develop a skill, like just things like that. I'm like, damn, do you have a skill outside of creating content on your phone or doing something on your phone? Like, what can you do? So just like mindful things to like something that you can work on during the summer, to improve yourself and just be aware of your surroundings, who your neighbors are, like all that, because you just never know when you need to tap into that, for yourself and your family.
I agree, 1000%. Definitely tapping into skill sets. We might can tap into that topic a little bit more later or next show because it could get really intense. Because I want to talk about jobs and what that looks like because that really goes for the survival. It's getting real
Mhm.
crunchy out here, so having skills, even skills around your house, like to not have to have to do everything or like have to depend on like, do you know how to put oil in your car if you can't get there? Like, are you
Mhm.
able to check your tire pressure on your own? Are you able to see what those like, things like that are super, super helpful. So
Yep.
1000%. I really haven't been keeping up with the news this last week or so. You gotta go in different segments. However, my mom told me like I think I don't know if it's in our area or what, but like a lot of like child abductions was happening, and they
Mm.
were able to find these kids. And war one, like, they saw the dude trying to do it, and the parents came out and like stopped him mid him trying to like steal the kid, and
Mm.
got the kid back, and he got arrested around the corner. She
That's
got
good.
license plates, but like literally, I guess, which I don't know why the kid was not close. He was only 2, like not close, but I guess it was outside or coming. I don't really know the scenario of that. However, they saw the dude like pick the kid up, and the mom runs after the dude like to give the kid back, and dad comes right in after to give the kid back. But literally, I was just like, number one, how is your 2-year-old even not
Outside with
like
not
even
that's like
at
a
your
baby.
hip?
She was a
Like,
baby.
yeah, it needs to be at my hip at this point. You feel me? But
Yeah.
I digress. I digress. I don't know how y'all parent, but they were able to get him back. And then my mom said a 7-year-old that happened and they were able to find it. But it's just like, y'all, like, be aware, protect yourself. What do you do when you feel like you don't have power? Allow your adrenaline to make you that ultra beast. Like, you should be a beast. Like, if
Mhm.
someone's threatening your life, don't feel afraid and have to give up. Try to fight first. Like, try to fight for yourself because sometimes they don't expect a reaction. So, you
Mhm.
just even trying to fight back could throw them off and then they don't want to fulfill the act anymore, right? So,
Mhm.
don't feel like you can't stand up for yourself because I like that. We do need to know what's going on. And I'm really
Mhm.
ready to get like mad guns, which that sounds really horrible. It shouldn't have to be like that, but I feel like I need to have in multiple places for whatever reason. Like I was driving down the
Mhm.
street the other day and young kids, it's summer, and they got the windows down. They here with their money. They're coming in and out the car. They're like outside the car, like whole bodies out. It was just giving a lot mid daylight,
Mhm.
and you watch so much stuff, and like you're trying not to be in the crossfire or even look wrong, to be honest, because I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if it's a music
Mhm.
video. I don't know if y'all just playing. I don't know if you. I really don't know. It's like it's a very unfamiliar scenario. However, it just made me feel like, you know what, like if I feel threatened, like what do I have to truly help myself? Like putting them paws on them really ain't enough no more. If you can't touch them, or like you don't want to like throw something that goes back. Like what do you do? So
Mhm. No, that's crazy because like with everything that's going on in the news, someone was out of town that lives very close to me, and they asked
hmm
me to like they had like packages coming like all throughout the week, and they
hmm
asked me to put the packages inside their house for them. And I'm like, yeah, that's
hmm
fine. Like, but then as I'm doing it, I'm in the act of doing it. I'm like, what if one of their
hmm
neighbors thinks I'm a threat, thinks I'm stealing, or who's this black lady we never see? Someone could call the cops, or even though I'm like in and out and I'm not you don't see me taking anything, but like with everything going on, people are getting shot turning around in someone's yard, and I really had that like anxiety every time that I had to go to their house to do that could someone could possibly think that I'm a threat or I'm something and try to do something to me,
yeah.
like, and that's really sad, but that's what we have to live with, and that's our reality, unfortunately. Yeah.
That is our reality. You really do have to think of those things. It really sucks. It really
Hmm.
sucks. It's not fun. It's not fun, but it's like, what do you do with what you're being presented with? So we are being presented with a very crunchy situation in America. So like, how can we make sure that we just do the best that we could? You know? So
Yeah.
it's crazy. So shout out to everybody out there that's going through something, went through something, or knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that went through something. Have grace. Check on these people just because they're so strong and so awesome doesn't mean that they don't need a little TLC too.
Yeah. I have an interesting cocktail today. I literally just like randomly. It was a rando.
I love it.
Maybe that's the name of this, not the song of the drink. So I have a reposado tequila in here, and then I taught the Don Julio reposado. Then y'all is feeling frisky. Maybe I'm feeling tipsy. I topped it with a tipsy
Ooh,
wine.
love it. Love it. Love it.
I put like a dash of simple in here, and then I had this rosemary in my fridge. So that's my
I
straw.
love it.
And
I
it's pretty
love it.
tasty, actually. So
I am really like every time you break out the Tipsy brand, I'm just like I want it so bad every
it's so
time. I
good.
don't know. It's like the can really entices me. I don't know what it is. The can entices the crap out of me. So you might have to ship me some because it's given I need it in my life.
Their thing is like their cans, their flavors are like inspired by Rainbow Row, which is downtown. It's a row of rainbow houses. They're all different colors. So they have like a yellow one, pink, this, blue. So really pretty, girly, southern.
Southern tip, okay, period. So I have a mango shata, which is a new brand of tequila. It is a jalapeno mango tequila. I actually did a tasting for them over the weekend, and so I have a little bit left. So I was like, you know what? Let me just break this down. Now y'all know I like a tequila. Y'all know I like a jalapeno. You know everything go good with a little mango. Okay, so this is giving all three in one. I would say that preferably add something to it to
Right.
kind of give it that balance, just because it is very like mango-ish forward. So I think something to really help calm it down. However, like if you do it with a tahine rim with some chamoy on the rim, like it's really good to help balance that as well. And I didn't really bring, I had this topper to put in with it, but I forgot it. So we're just, I got this new water today called Just Water from Whole
Mm-hmm.
Foods. It's on
Mm-hmm.
sale right now, y'all. So if y'all need some water, this is $1.34 on sale with your Prime membership at the Whole Foods. Tell them Erin sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I had a little smoothie earlier, so it's still giving berries in my cup from the smoothie. So I'm just gonna swig it up, a little water in this little smoothie, and then I'm gonna have a little bit of a mango shata.
I
Okay,
love
period.
that.
Yeah, that's good
At
stuff. How
work,
was your?
my favorite bartender, Drew, he will make a spicy. He's been doing like the flavored margs. We have like a spicy margarita, but he'll do like
Mm-hmm,
a spicy mango margarita for me.
mm-hmm.
And the other day he did a spicy strawberry. It was tasty.
Yum
It brought me
yum.
back to our like strawberry margarita days. But yeah, having that little kick with the strawberry or mango, top tier.
We need to do a strawberry margarita like the next show or two. Like we need to bring that back. We actually, I just thought about that. Like I haven't really had one,
Mm-hmm.
and that actually sounds really good right now. Like that
Yeah,
sounds really good.
perfect
Me
for
and
some.
Whitney used to screw up a strawberry margarita, child. I don't even know how we could drink so many of them because we would drink them back to back, y'all. Oof, it was giving strawberry. We was really throwing them back.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
so I don't know
uh,
how we did it, but we did it. Because we
Show
wasn't
did.
doing shots like that. I feel like we weren't doing just shots of tequila at that point in life. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what we were doing.
Because I feel
Um,
like we were just going out to, not that saying that you can't take shots when you're going out to eat, but we were just like going out and having like drinks and like
mhm.
food. So yeah, I feel like when we take shots, it's more like when we're going out, like nightlife,
Yeah.
not like
Mhm.
during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we were shot, like we weren't taking shots like that.
Yeah. We've grown now, so it really doesn't matter what time of day it is. It's always shot o'clock.
Yes. Period. Like literally.
It's
Literally.
always a shot o'clock. Period.
Shout out to all the Gemini. So we had two people at work, their birthdays were in the past like 2 days or whatever. And it's so funny because we FaceTime one of our coworkers and they didn't answer. But we, you can take a screenshot of everybody and say, take a shot. It's your birthday. So
Oh,
that's
yes.
how it be. But we were doing that as we were celebrating someone else's birthday. But this past week was like my first full week of managing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like I knew that coming into it, I wanted to be kind of like, since I'm like promoted from within, it's like I feel like I have a duty to be like the voice of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like do it for
Mm-hmm.
those things. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I know what I feel like I felt like we needed and stuff like that on that side of being a server. So I feel like when I'm on this side, I feel like I need to make it happen because it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense and it's just for the greater good of the restaurant and like building morale and having that like culture is important for me too because like I don't understand the concept of like why are we gonna have employees work here who we don't want for years? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, we want them to grow and go do other things, but like we don't I don't want high turnaround. I feel like that's a bad that just is not a good look. Like it shouldn't be a lot. Like even though restaurants can be, but if we think about it, if we think about Fridays that we worked at, there's still a lot of people that worked there when we worked there 10 years ago who
Mm-hmm.
worked there before that. Like they were already
Yeah.
working there when we got there. So like that speaks volumes to like this is a good place to work if you have people
Mm-hmm.
that want to continue to come to work. They still do their side thing, whatever, but they still may work one shift or two shifts a week. Like that speaks volumes to me. So that's important
Yeah.
for me to like help build that. If we're, building a brand, building a company to be bigger, so we need to have that.
Yeah.
But one of the we had an have an essay who's amazing. She's from Ukraine, and dang, I don't know how long she's been working with us. It's been a long time, but she is amazing. Like super hard worker, like always on the go. Like you just when we a table sits down, we have to bring water to the table to water the table, and that is our essays job. But we'll like the essays help us do it, but like we can do it too. Like obviously, so say like I got a table. I'll go. I don't see her in sight. Okay, not a sight. I'll go get the water bottle. Table already watered, and she on to the next. I'm like, where did she come from? Like she
Yeah.
just was just on the go. Like she just was always there when you needed her. Like it was just kind of strange. Like just super fast, like super efficient. She was amazing. So her birthday is actually today, and her last day was yesterday. So I didn't even know it's her birthday at the beginning. I was like, well, we have to do something to celebrate her because she's been such a vital role in this restaurant since she's been here. Like, and we have to celebrate her. Like, we don't do anything like that. We haven't had like any like team thing to like celebrate the team at all. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate her. Like, we have to. So, um, it's so funny because I'm like, I kind of did it backwards, but I was making sure that everyone, the staff, cleared their schedule for after work on Sunday because we close at 3.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone could show up for her. And then I literally just asked her the day before. I'm like, hey, you got anything to do? But she's very like worker bee. Like I know she
Yeah.
don't really be doing that much. So she was like, yeah, I don't have anything to do. So I was like, perfect. So I let her know that we were going to do something after work. And then I saw that it was her birthday. So I'm like, we're gonna celebrate you and it's your birthday tomorrow. So we're gonna da da da. So everyone's all excited, but then Sunday everyone's like super like, dang, this is bittersweet. Like this is her last day. I'm like, I know,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. And then I was like, y'all gotta step it up because she ain't gonna be here. So we gonna have to crank it, okay? So Sunday I'm coming to work and I see this guy, like we kind of pull up at the same time, and he's like, walking around the restaurant. I'm just like, I didn't say nothing to him, but I was just kept walking. And then he finally said something to me. He's like, "Do you work here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Do you know who Whitney?" Then he said like two other names. Like, "Do you know who they are?" I'm like, "I'm Whitney." And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm whatever his name was, and I'm actually the family that the girl, the server assistant, and her family have been staying with this whole time. She told us that you're having something for her birthday. We actually have a surprise party for her tonight.
Oh,
So I wanted to come and like let you know. So pretty much we like came up with a plan. He's like, you can like still do what you're doing, stall her, and here's the
yeah.
address. Everyone's invited to the party for her, like da 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 da.
Awesome.
And I was like, oh my god, this is lit. So I had like had stuff that child, I was gonna do all these things. So I had this stuff in the office. We had a party the day before and they left all this stuff. I'm like, oh, we're using this for her. So I had like a balloon garland. I had all these things. It was just me and Jonah's birthday. So I had stuff from home that I had in my car. And I was like, well, great. Take this stuff and use it for your house party.
Yeah.
So it'll be used. You can have it all set up. And that takes a weight off my shoulder that I don't have to be
That does.
trying to do all this stuff. Boom, perfect. So he was so nice, like all day. And then her sister was texting me, like we were coming up with the
Oh,
plan. Like it was so lit. So and she's very like just headstrong. And I just knew I'm like, she never wants help or never wants anything. So I'm like, this can be a little tough because she's gonna not be used to like, oh hey, let's take you home. Like anytime everyone's gonna try to take her home, she always doesn't want us to. So I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be a little difficult, but we pulled it off. Like we went to this spot, Rebel Taqueria, that's so good. We went there, had drinks and food and stuff. And before, I think it was Christmas, I bought her some wine and stuff. 'Cause I know she likes Pinot Grigio, so I got her another bottle of wine, and I actually got her some stuff from my boutique because I
hmm.
she's gonna go to like the Grand Canyon and Yellowstone. She's having this whole adventure with her sister and her friends, and then she's going back to Ukraine. So I'm like, well, while you're in Cali and visiting and whatever, like you need to have some cute little things. So packed her up a cute little like setup, and just her like reaction, and like she was just like, oh my god, like you did not have to do this, but just it was just felt so nice to like do something for her and celebrate her, because that's what it's all about. Like we work hard, and we have to celebrate each other. Like this is our team, and she like came here to like have a better life because like she's from Ukraine, so we all know what's going on there. And she was like, sometimes when she would come to work at our restaurant, she had already worked 2 or 3 jobs. Like that is crazy. And I always would joke around like she I know she thinks we're lazy Americans, but she was saying that the our restaurant was the best place. Like she loved the people that she worked with and all that. And she was like she would be so tired, but when she came to our job, like we would give her an energy, give her that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so happy that we could create that for you. And she was going around the table, and I was trying to force her to tell us who her favorite employee was, but she's so nice and she wouldn't do that. So she went around and said what she loved about everybody.
Oh, love
Amazing.
that.
Like
Love that.
so sweet. And like as she's doing that, like this is what we do it for. Like we have to have
Mm-hmm.
camaraderie and like this bond between
Love
each other.
that.
I feel like it makes working together better because like we got each other's back, right? So cheers to her. Her birthday is today. And oh, so her sister came and got her. So we kind of like, bye, like hugs, da, 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 da. We stayed back a little and then we went. So, just to throw her off. And y'all, we was going there and I was like, ooh, they got money. This house was beautiful. So nice. And then she had told us that she had to like walk home twice. And I was like, I don't know how you walked here because this is far. But it's that different mentality, that different like hustle. I mean, there's people from America that would do that, but she just like after working 3 jobs, I'm not walking nowhere, bro. But whatever. But this beautiful home. It's filled with all of her friends and family. Her real life mama was there. Like, it was beautiful. Her sister, and we're coming in and they're all hugging us. Like, so much love, and we're introducing ourselves, and like, oh, you're Whitney, and I'm like, oh, it's like she talks to them about us, and I was like, this is so sweet, like beautiful spread of food and this all this like Ukrainian stuff. Girl, I had Ukrainian potato salad, bus
Mm.
Bussington. Like, it was so good. Like, everything was good. The aesthetics, like everything was amazing. They had a photo booth downstairs that was like printing the pictures. Like, we had a time. Like, we had a really, really good time. So I'm just so happy that we were able to do that for her and then be a part of what her family and friends had for her. So just so happy that we were able to do that and have that bonding experience. So yeah, it was pretty lit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And it really just goes to like help your people that you work with that may not always think about the things in ways how to help and support each other. Like it helps them to see like, okay, we can really do it together. We can make everyone have that special time and it's a bonding time. So
Yeah.
I'm really here for that. It's a positive bonding time. And I think that's really important in work environments. Like
Yeah.
we don't do it enough. We don't, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's busy, you forget. Like it's okay, obviously you can't get everyone, but when you can, it means a lot. I freaking love that. I love
And it
that.
could be crunchy because as I'm like promoted from within, it's like, well, you can't really be friends with
Right.
everyone and da 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 da. And like, I didn't go out with them when I was a server. Like, I didn't. They literally had to beg me, and I would still say no. So, and I think it's too important to create that boundary. Like, yeah, I'm not going to be going out every night to the bars. I never did that before and getting wasted. But if it's a chance to celebrate someone or doing something for a purpose, absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it because I don't think that that blurs the lines. Like,
Not at all.
not at
Not at
all. So
all.
I
It's
think
it's you building a great team and morale.
yeah, you have to do
Hmm.
that. And a lot of this and stuff that I've learned from my previous employer, like having the importance of that culture and meetings
Hmm.
and team building, like I learned so much from that I'm going to bring into this because we don't really have that a lot, depending on
Hmm.
where you work because it's not corporate. So a lot of those things aren't in place. So it's just two people who own it, and their brain can't really go there if they're doing the day to day and the logistics and opening new things and concepts and the back end stuff. They're not
Yeah.
really going to think about that. Not in a bad way, but
Right.
it's a lot to own a
Hmm.
business,
Hmm.
a restaurant. That's really it's a lot. So I'm
Yeah.
just happy that I can bring that and I want to continue to like build that so we have like a strong team.
I love it. Shout outs to team building and morale. It is very important. It's something I'm very passionate about. You already
Mhm.
know. Speaking on passion, a little bit of a snippet of my hospitality week is that I had to ruffle a few feathers to get that respect and morale. Because sometimes what I've noticed is, people start to get used to what you do and how you do it and what you allow. And then they sometimes think that you're not going to question if you feel that something is off. So if you
Mm.
guys listen to our show, one of the times I talked about a scenario we had with finances and money and things in that nature at a spot I worked at. Well, going back into that situation and haven't worked since, I made sure that it was very clear that that won't be happening, and that's very clear that I'm going to keep a paper trail moving forward. And it's very clear that we're all going to understand the concept. And I did it in front of everybody that it applied to. And I don't like to be this person. However, in order to bring it back to synergy and like being back aligned, you have to ruffle a few feathers. So I ruffled them. It was mad awkward after. However, I don't feel bad for any of the things I definitely came off aggressive. However, the aggression was still respectful, professional, just straight to the point. And if you
Mm-hmm.
feel that you're in a place where you are not being treated fairly or things are off or you need more clarity and explanation, you do need to have some facts and ask for what you're looking for and keep your paper trail because it is important because most of the time if you feel that way there is something going on in the back end. You just may not be able to like figure what that is out, but if you protect yourself then you won't be involved in anything else should it come up
Mm-hmm.
later on. So it's just really important because it's like, one of the main things I really liked about this particular concept was the family values that it had a while ago. And then sometimes people come into positions and they can create cancerous situations and toxic work environments, which we've all had
Yep.
before. And so, really being able to see that and knowing different ways that you can like not have that. Like what Whitney is doing right now is like it's a fresh outlook of life, but also an experience of what it's like to be on the other side. So it's able to come in with a really great way to really bring the culture together versus like
Mm-hmm.
someone that has burnt out, done it for too long, and just kind of is going through their own struggle. It becomes toxic. So there's like two different ways to really um, flow and generate through building a team. It's really important no matter what you go through is that you don't become toxic. I feel like my little toxic traits have appeared over the weekend, and
Oh,
it's more toxic on yeah, but it's more toxic on when you poke me because I'm very chill, I'm very loving. Like I will just give the world. When you poke me, I sometimes can't come out until I feel like it's safe again. I'm like a sniper until I
don't
feel
look
like I'm safe
fair.
again. Just don't poke it. So it's just not. And I acknowledge that. And I'm like, I was trying really hard to do that reset, that reset that we like to do. But I had told myself, I'm just not there. And that is okay. And I just have to stick with it because what it was is also a trigger of something I dealt with in my past job that I quit that, whatever. I noticed that I'm dealing I noticed that I'm dealing with the same exact person. It's just different type, but it's literally the same person. And I just
Different.
now have oh, it's just a different mask. And I was like, well, geez, okay, all right, here we go, right? And so when you in life, right, when you have patterns or things that show up repetitively that you didn't like, there was a lesson you're supposed to learn from it. So when it shows up again, you need to apply what you had learned. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
what I learned from that lesson is have your paper trail. Know what you're talking about. Stand on it and don't back
Yeah.
down. And so that's what it's giving on this one. So this will be the last time. I'm not gonna have this lesson no more because we're not doing what we did the last time. We nipping it and then when you nip it's gonna hurt a little bit. It's gonna hurt. But my mom my mom always constantly reminds me of my personality trait, and I enjoy it. Sometimes I get annoyed, but sometimes I can enjoy it because I'm like reflecting, like, you know what, this is it, this is I, it's okay. Either you take it or you leave it, right? Like if you know what it is, you take it or leave it. Some call it toxic, some call it straight up. It's whatever works for you. I'm gonna cut the toxicity out, so if I have to be toxic to get it out, then I'm gonna get all the poison out. We're gonna detox. So that's where we at. Weekend hospitality. I did two uh, day parties over the weekend.
Ooh.
Um, my thighs are hurting, and I'm really like actually I'm really sore all over. I think I've worked a lot of different things last week. I worked a lot, so I'm really not sure if I'm tired from random torque sessions that I would have. Shout out to my girl Brenda. Love her. She is a Virgo like myself. So sometimes, like, if the jam is jamming, like, it could
Mm-hmm.
just turn into a torque session. And it's great. And you need that. You really do need to be able to work and have a little fun. So I don't know if it's that. I don't know if I don't know what it is, but I'm hurting and I'm like walking with a limp.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a whole walk with a limp. And I'm like, it's giving pimp. And so, but I watched Babyface Tiny Desk over the weekend. So that put me back to slowing it down. So my song of the week is Whip Appeal.
Mm-hmm. I watched that. Did you watch the Trina one?
Yeah, girl, 3 times. Three
I
times.
love
I
Trina.
love
When I
Trina.
saw that she did Tiny Dance, it's like the world stops.
I was like, no, yeah, I don't know. Like Tiny Dead is actually
I
like
love
my
like the
jams.
live, yeah, like the live
I watch
aspect. The only thing
them all the time.
with Babyface's Tiny Desk. And I love this man. I say he's gonna sing at my wedding. But I just felt like Tank was talking too much. He was annoying me. He was doing too much. I feel like with Tiny Desk,
I
the
was,
background singers don't really be doing that much. And I feel like he was doing a lot. And I watch his podcast and it's like it's his personality, but I wanted him to
yeah,
like simmer down a little bit because it wasn't his Tiny Desk. But other than that, I mean, it was immaculate. I mean, they all can sing, like in his Babyface. So it's great, but I just wanted him to just be background and
yeah. To
dance.
be honest, I was kind of in denial that it was actually Tank until I just couldn't deny no more because I was like, nah, that ain't Tank. Nah, that
Yeah.
ain't Tank. Like, why Tank here? Because in my mind, I was like, why you here, Tank? Because Tank got like you said, he has like platforms, he has stuff, and he is the type of person. His personality does need his own. He's not a good
Mhm.
background for Babyface for me. Tank is
Mhm.
great, but I want Babyface and Tank really don't match for me. Like it doesn't match for me
Babyface
personally.
was on his podcast, so they have like
Hmm.
he's a
Hmm.
part of like
Yeah.
whatever. So I could see like even when Usher did his like his two background singers were singers that are great in their own
Yes.
right too. So I like Shantae Moore, like she's like she can have her own Tiny Desk. So I mean,
I
so
love
I
me some
like that he
Shantae.
has the
Yeah.
stars. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But Tank just needed to pipe down a little bit. That's it. But
Yeah.
voice is immaculate. Like if I could have it my way, he would sing at my wedding.
I love that.
I love Tank.
I
But
love
yeah.
that. I vote for a Maxwell Tiny Desk.
Ooh.
That would be so awesome. I started the Charlie Wilson, but I ain't finished yet. I ain't finished
Oh
that one
yeah,
yet.
that's gonna I watch later. Yeah, I felt like I
Yeah.
needed like time to
Yeah.
like something that's always like that. I always add them to my watch later because I have to have like the utmost like time and focus when I watch it for the first time. But yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
watch that.
Yeah, I watched half of it and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. However, there were some songs that he was a part of that I had no idea and I
Mhm.
was jam. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go back. Probably gonna
Yeah.
restart it again. But shout outs to Tiny Desk. It is like my go-to jams, cooking, cleaning. Like I will
Mhm.
Tiny Desk my soul out. There's so many I've
Mhm.
watched several times. It's just those classics. It just hits like no other. It
Yeah,
hits like no other.
for sure.
So I'm bringing Babyface into the week, and it feels real good because it's giving me soft and gentle because I was a little rough over the weekend. So this is like a fresh start to go a little. I'm trying to come in a little soft. I was having a little bit of a Gemini moment over the weekend. Shout outs to actually work with a Gemini. Whitney, it's so funny because I was like, I made a joke, but he was like, "Man, you really know me." I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I know you, Gemini." So I gave him a alter ego over the weekend because I was like, "You have to have another personality. Like you have another personality." And I got to see a video of him cutting a rug over the weekend. I was like, "I knew it. I knew it." He's just so calm, you guys. I was like, "No, something is not like something is off," and because Gemini's they are very like poised and just, huh? And I'm like, "Nah, nah, nah. I know. Like my spidey senses says there's something in there." Well,
Mhm.
turns out is he turns into Sergio on his own, girl. Yes, and that's what I named his alter ego, Sergio. Shout out to
Mm.
Darius. So pretty much he's black. However, he liked the Spanish culture. I saw a video of him with a cowboy hat on,
Mm.
busting it down on dance floor. I said, I knew it. This dude acts like he acts like he barely even know rap too. So over the
No.
weekend, I was like, "Do you know this song? Or are you just Spanish all the way?" I just need to know if there's good here. But it was hilarious because Geminis are just they have that personality. If you're a Gemini, if you know a Gemini, watch. Okay,
Yeah,
we didn't name her alter ego
I
though.
don't have an alter ego name, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know
she
if
doesn't. You don't have one. I don't think you really need one. I
I
don't.
know.
It
I
could
don't.
just be like if anything, you're just your middle name. But I don't because it's like she gets in this sass, but it's like a different type of sass. I can't
Mhm.
explain it. So if
Mhm.
you know, you know. If you know Whitney, then you know.
Mhm.
Um. So yeah,
Definitely
but
a sass.
yeah, but I definitely gave him a thing. I was like, I needed him to understand what I was trying to say because he just thought it was a joke, but I was like, no, this is serious. And then at the end, because I kept calling him Sergio, he's like, no, you're right. I'm like, you just gotta own it, bro.
I definitely noticed that with well, I knew that she was gonna have a different side, but the our essay I was talking about, because at work she's
Mm-hmm.
so, and I'm like that, like I'm at work and I'm working. She told me like when she first started working, she would watch how I worked to know how to work and like how to. I'm like, period. But that's how
Yes.
she is. And then when we saw her in her element, like she was letting loose, she was having fun, and we don't ever see that side of her. And we were like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, okay. And we were
Yes.
out. I was like asking her, I was like, so do you? And she was like, weed, and we're like, yeah. She was like, yeah. And the whole table was like, ah, like we were all. I was like, we should have known. We could have
Yeah.
been. But
Yeah.
it happened at due time because we couldn't. We would have been cutting up too much if
Yeah.
we had
Yeah.
to
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
transition now. It would have been. It would have been a mess. We wouldn't be working. So
Yeah. Well, fun
yeah.
fact then, Geminis, I'm telling y'all, they're always poised for the most part, and but then there's another side in there. And I'm not saying that it's bad at all, but
Yeah.
it's just the other part of their personality trait. Like they don't necessarily, they're just not like open and who they are to everybody that presents
Mm-hmm.
themselves. So
Right.
shout outs to all the
Right.
Geminis. It's still Gemini season and for like another week or so. So shout outs to y'all. Go cut your rugs, do whatever your heart desires. Period.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm still celebrating. To be honest, I've been taking down any happy birthday stuff. Like
I'm
I'm not
done.
taking it down until Gemini season is over. Period.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
just what
you have to rep like whatever your sign is, like that's where
you
you
gotta rep
connect
your
to.
set.
You got to rep your set. And most of the time, for when we're in our own signs, that whole season usually is pretty good for whatever the particular sign is, like that
Mm-hmm.
whole season, because it's just where you're like your energy is more enhanced. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. Next up is what? It's Cancer season next up.
I know. Yeah,
Not super crazy
we
about
could
it.
just skip right on by, child.
I can't. It really could. It really could.
You know, I'm
Sorry.
a detox in the cancer season. I'm a detox.
For real. Sorry,
Just,
sorry for the cancers. It's just
sorry to
giving
them. Sorry.
emotional. It's giving emotional roller coaster. And child, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got
No.
time for that. But
Mm,
I digress. I
mm,
digress.
mm, mm.
Let's just ready for Leo season. How about that? Because Leo
Yeah, I'm
energy
really
is like
excited for Leo season.
so lit. I love Leo season.
I love
So
Leos. My
lit.
little sister is a Leo. My friend Tunde is a Leo, and he's like one of my favorite people ever. I'm a Leo moon, so I'm gonna celebrate that month too. So it's lit. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
It's litty, 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 litty. I'm loving
Litty
it. I'm here
bitty.
for it.
Ooh, it's 2:22.
All right, 222. So I wanted to touch on something here, and we'll probably finish it later on because this is kind of an ongoing topic. However, I was on LinkedIn, which I'm on. I don't really get on there that often. However, I just was very curious on the market trends right now. So,
Mhm.
if anyone is looking for a job or wants a job and is trying to start something new, if you have been applying and you feel that you're not getting the responses that you want, well, fun fact, it's a thing that's globally happening right now. The gag is, y'all, okay? So, because I was curious, I've been seeing, and I know a lot of people that actually got laid off that have great experiences, lots of degrees, lots of resources, really good and work responsible. Like it just wasn't adding up to why these awesome people, number one, got laid off in their fields and still haven't found anything. It's not making no sense
Mhm.
because apparently we have millions of jobs available, but we're going through a recession and inflation because no one wants to work. Well, that doesn't add up. Okay. You guys need to like, have a moment that doesn't add up because we see a lot of people really trying. So what do you mean nobody wants to work? That's not the case. The report had said that what the people are doing is they're actually posting ghost jobs out there. So a company could actually be posting a job that they never intend to hire. So what that means is that they're just doing it to make that their business is still booming, that they'll still like they're still staying afloat, or they're actively trying to find people. However, they're able to put it as a loss in their reports or profits or things that they weren't able to fulfill throughout the week if they're or throughout the year if they're company may be doing a decline in other ways.
Mm.
That can go for a lot of different means and it can really break it down into analysis, but that's just kind of one of them. Also, another one is AI is a really big thing now. AI is into hiring. So they actually are using different keywords and different things off of the job that is posted. So if they are using like LinkedIn has it, Indeed, all the big like ZipRecruiter, all of them, they're now using this AI. So what it is like if you're submitting a resume that maybe doesn't have those keywords or whatever that's provided to that job, you're automatically out and probably don't even get reviewed or probably at the very end. Or it's also looking for certain types of things. So AI is a really big part of recruiting right now. And then it's a lot of gig work. Right now, um, people are for whatever reason they're more comfortable with hiring a third party company to
Mm-hmm.
help with their internal stuff because cost, overhead, things in that nature. They don't have to pay your insurance, all the things. So it's a little bit easier for the company, depending on how they are, to go do a third party recruiting staffing agency. So if you're out there and you're getting discouraged because you're looking for something else, I want to tell you don't get discouraged. Think about your skill sets. And really go for it. This person had a good range of, they applied for what 330 jobs and they only heard back from 3 and only had a few interviews. That is a scenario right now. Real talk. The scenario is like you apply at 10, you probably could get nothing at all. So don't do the bare minimum. We're past the bare minimum stage. If you're really trying to actively look for something, no longer can you do the bare minimum. So that means your one resume is not going to work for all the jobs you want to apply for. That means you need to tweak those resumes or have a really strong, awesome resume with interchangeable cover letters. There is
And
a lot of
follow up.
resources. Yeah, and follow up. And there's a lot of resources on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers that are actually talking about different jobs and offering services. Now, do mind you that they are getting thousands of views. So you and one of 1,000 may be applying for that job. And just like I said, you might not get that call at all. So be resourceful. It's great to use LinkedIn and Indeed to find out about companies. However, once you find out about that company, you should go do your research on that company, go to their website, and apply for different roles in their own internal website. That way
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of really get to the source a little bit differently. Indeed and stuff is just kind of a buffer, a
Yeah.
middleman. If you go straight to the source or you're reaching out to these people, follow them on LinkedIn, send them a message, hey, or like start building those connections a little bit different because I'm gonna tell you right now, this is only the beginning. I thought it was weird. It wasn't adding up. And so I wanted to dive into it and I'm gonna continue to dive into it and bring you guys some insight on what you can do. But there's so many things going on and you and 1,000 other people are looking for work. It's not that the jobs are not there. It's just because they're not really intentionally trying to hire or they're so overwhelmed that they just pick the first couple people for the
Mm-hmm.
job and you just get booted off the island. So it's just a lot, but don't get discouraged. It's a new week. Anything can happen for you. Sharpen up your skills. So what if you want to, in your mind, you want to do customer service? Well, you actually might be hella dope as an auditor. Don't limit yourself. Remove your limited abilities and skills and know, like, you know what, if I can do this, I can do that. And really start to research other jobs, learn more about them. Don't get stuck in one way because that ain't the wave.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. I
It's
love
getting it's getting real, it's getting real dicey out here, and we gotta stick together. You feel me?
that.
Hospitality or not, we must stick together. And lastly, but never least, like always have a side hustle, do more than one thing. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart. They even have it now. I think it's called Spark, where you can actually deliver groceries for Targets and WalMarts and all that kind of stuff like that. So if you don't have a vehicle, that's okay. If you can find you a local restaurant around the corner, you can walk to and from, honey. You already know what it is. You can host, you can bus, you can be in the kitchen. There's a lot of great things in food service, and it's not much of a commitment, but it's also you meet great connections and people. So don't knock it till you try
Yeah, for sure.
it.
Um, a lot of people this past week, there's been people who come into the restaurant like, oh, I applied online yesterday, and then they come in the next day or whatever, and like that's how you like you're stood out, like period. Okay, cool. You're gonna have an interview because just like you said, there's a pile of people trying to apply, but you came in. We have a face. We can talk to you right then. You could have an on the spot interview. Like not everyone is doing that. They're just like, oh, I applied
Mm-hmm.
online, and they just leave it. So if it's that kind of vibe, apply online and go in there. What's up? Like, hi, I applied online. I'm Whitney. Like, introduce yourself. Like that.
Yeah.
People are not into doing that how they were before. So yeah, make yourself stand out. Be different.
Yeah. Stand out and be different. That is the vibe of the week. You are going to be floating and merging with the rest until you want to stand out, honey. Okay. Do you got the whip appeal? Is you going to make a whip on you and break a neck?
Period.
Because
That
I
part.
want you to get a crook in your neck. Or at least a crook. You ain't got to break it, but you need to have a crook. You need to massage it out. You need to be hurting, child. Because you need to be looking back to be like, what did I just pass? What was it? Was it the energy? Was it the aura? Was it the smile? Was it the glow? Like, what was it? You don't got to be all physical. Your energy is just as strong, okay? So it just need a little, it need to whip it, okay?
That made me think of Friday. Damn, when they saw Miss Parker like that.
Fun fact, I watched Friday, like going to sleep, like coming home from work or whatever, and I thought of you. I was like, ugh, I wanted to text you. I was like, girl, it's like 4 in the morning. Digress. But I was like, I'm totally thinking of Whitney right now. And I was eating, like I came home, I was hungry, eating and watching Friday after a long day, and I'm like, this is making me think of Whitney. This is
Classic.
Whitney's
It's
classic
funny.
movie,
It's my
Friday, and I
favorite.
was just like, I saw it. I was like, I don't have to stroll to find what I'm gonna watch. It's Friday. Like, of course,
Yeah,
it's just only right. It's
easy.
only freaking right. I want to watch next Friday too, because it's just I just need to see Day Day one good time.
The whole
So
trilogy to me, I think, is amazing. I think they're
yeah,
all funny
it's
in their
fine.
own different way. Obviously, nothing can top the first one, but they're
Yeah,
all like funny to me.
yeah,
So
it
yeah.
is hilarious.
Shout out to Ice Cube. Put me in the next one.
Period. Period. It's put me in, Coach. It's put me in.
Yeah, I'll be somebody, daughter, cousin, auntie,
It's the auntie.
girlfriend, wife.
I can see the cousin of the other girl.
Yeah,
I can see because those be like real boys like
that
yourself.
could be
I'm here
Craig's
for
cousin.
it. Not Craig, Craig cousin. I love it.
Yeah, because
Craig.
his mama was dark skinned.
Mm,
He's a little brown, and then his daddy, rest in peace, John
I
Witherspoon, was a little light.
know.
I could be a cousin.
I know RP when I was watching that damn cereal. I was like, oh, he's gone. But you know, the one great thing about like those people, they got to live a really awesome life. Um,
They can
and
live
I just
forever. The
aspire to
movie.
do that. Yeah. Yeah. I aspire to live forever in whatever that I have created for myself and my son. So whatever that may be, okay? I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for it. I am
Period.
here for it.
Yes.
So, you guys, if
Whew.
you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Amazon. Like, you just need to click the subscribe and like for all. That way,
Mhm.
you never miss a notification, as well as share with your friends and family. We're here to encourage you, support you, give you love, laughter. It's a little mess at the same time, but it's all out of good love and respect. If you know us and you know us and know that our content is here for you to absorb, receive, and get out your feelings, because what you did is what you did, and what you said is what you said, and you got to stand on it. So don't watch it if you can't handle the heat, but also don't bring the fire to the kitchen if you ain't ready to smoke it.
Ooh, it's the spice, it's the sass at the end of the show, Aaron. I'm here for it.
I
It's
mean, sometimes you just have to give a disclaimer. You know, we talk about real life stuff and we do work with these individuals and people, but it's
yeah.
not we're just not these people. So people will try to paint you to be something when they feel a way about you. And I just want to be very clear. Sometimes you just have to go back to the basics of great leadership and great people just speaking on what's real. We're always a lot of people be fake and then get real emotional when someone
Hmm.
wants to actually just not be effed over at some point. So you just have to kind of set the boundaries. So, you know, it's getting spicy. The bear is out the cage. She off in the wild, and I just don't know if she'll be tamed.
Ooh,
Um, cheers to that.
watch out. Oh, watch out. Run for cover. Run for cover. She warned you. Woo! You can follow
Ooh.
me on Instagram at WhitneyWhite1_. You can shop my store at Shop2230 on Instagram, Facebook, all of that good stuff.
Yes, yes. Follow me with Get Tone with E on Instagram. Get Tone Wellness for your wellness needs and healing crystals. And hit that noti bell.
Ooh,
Period.
I got a shop. You got some rose quartz?
No, I don't have any. I should have some probably in a week or two.
Okay, I was watching this
Okay.
thing,
A rose
and
quartz. I love a good rose quartz.
I don't really know anything about crystals yet, but it said I needed rose quartz and some jade.
All right, bet I can get you. So, fun fact, you guys, there is definitely some certain crystals that go with every zodiac sign that really
Mm,
help you. You can use it with meditation, stuff like that. So, if you guys need even just a list of that, I can get you a list with meanings and how to use them, because you
love
can use them for mental and healing. Body healing is the best for me. Like I actually
it.
wear them like while I'm
Mm-hmm.
working and stuff sometimes, so it's really really dope. So,
Okay.
yeah. I love that. Shout outs
Yeah,
to the inner healing. Okay. And
period.
just remember to have your goals. Don't let nobody turn you down.
And that's on period. Thank you
You know what
guys.
it is? The spice I just realized it's the spicy because I'm in Gemini season. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Because
Okay.
Virgos already have it. So then the
Ooh,
Gemini just is either you're gonna get a little bit of both. That's what it is. It just a little salt on there. It just
okay.
threw the salt and marinated it a little bit. It just pop out. So that's
Okay.
that's
Salt
probably
bae.
what it's given. Period. Don't be salty. Be the seasoning.
All right, y'all. Until next time.
Peace.